as you interlock the two.
Now stretch them right as...
Soccer. And the...
Quiet, please. In exactly 15 seconds, we'll be on the air.
I felt like a reptile. Like a reptile. I felt like a reptile.
Yeah, it was always other people would concern me, other kids coming round to play, and I'd be like, hang on a minute, fucking watch your hands.
Did you always have that kid that you had to hide stuff from because you know he'd steal?
Oh, yeah. Most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them. You like it, right?
I love it, man.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Full Reptile Radio. You like it, right?
Love it. I'm glad you did it. Because I know you started when I left, but that was 3 weeks ago, and we've done some shit since then.
That is, contrary to popular belief, that is the only Lego set. No, that is actually a lie. I was going to say it's the only Lego set that I've built, but it's not. It's I also built the town Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger town, like the little bank and the little...
Oh, nice. Yeah. I inherited some stuff from our neighbour. He's what, 21?
Lego?
Yeah.
Fuck,
It's the best.
You always want your inheritance to be Lego.
That's all I want. So I saw him and he's big into his car now.
Does he sound real loud to you?
It sounds. I can hear it well, but I don't know if that...
can hear
just
well.
the state of mind.
No? Yeah? No? Sounds all right. Okay, come on. Carry on.
Is that okay?
No, we're all good.
Good.
Better.
At least we've not got Hello Kitty headphones.
That's true. I don't know who would have done that.
Why?
I don't know who would have... That's cruel.
But they still get used in the back of Jimmy's Audi.
Of course they will.
So,
mate, well, you've seen Jimmy's bag, haven't you? You've seen his Disney side bag.
Oh, is he?
With DuckTales on it or whatever it is. You don't give a fuck.
I would
what are you going to do? What are you going to say?
I'm not going to say fuck all
Jimmy
to
Warhead
Jimmy.
walking through Loughborough City Centre with his Disney bag. No.
Not when Amish Jim turns around with that beard. You're like, oh, shit.
It is a grand beard, isn't it?
He's going to fuck me or milk me.
Mate, you want to see how much time he spends brushing it at the end of each session. He stands behind. Honestly,
yeah.
I don't go behind reception. It must be ankle deep in ginger face pubes.
Yeah. Well, I got to the point where I went swimming once and my head was like a foot out of the water. And I turned and I had drag from the water on my bit. And I was like, that must have been like 3 years old or something. It's just...
I keep thinking about clean shaving mine. It's been a while since I've clean shaven.
I had a dream last night. I can't clean shave because I get arrested. But it's...
Chris trying to buy cigarettes.
Mate, Chris Bliss did it and he was...
At least the flat peak baseball cap would make more sense.
It kind of fits, yeah. Well, skateboarders that can't quite grow a beard.
You definitely look... I've got a full reptile skateboard in there.
I take it. I can't skate.
There you go.
I can ride a BMX, but I can't skate.
You just need to carry it as a weapon. That's what it's really for.
Dude, honestly, the only reason my beard gets any shorter is because Mo at the Turkish... not Turkish barber. I can't remember where he's from.
Mo Sislak.
It could be.
Of the tavern.
That's the one.
Mo's Tavern.
Flaming Mo's.
Yeah.
When he's...
That's another Lego set I've got to build.
Have you got that?
I've got... Mate, check this out.
Go on.
Sorry, no, tell me about Mo.
We've had 9 different subjects. It's all going. I'm home.
What were you telling me about Mo?
Well, because he does such a good job.
Yeah.
He just fucks with my head and my beard for like an hour and a half, and I just sit there. And
so he's the Turkish barber.
Exactly. And while it's getting short, Kurdish, I think he is.
Kurdish.
But he literally...
Is that a different style of haircut, Kurdish?
Slightly. I don't know how they get on, Turks and Kurds. So the problem is...
Mate, no one's getting on at the moment.
Not one bit. And I don't want to say, my Turkish barber, and I get there next time,
Everyone's jumping on fucking helicopters and throwing shit at one another, and...
Calm down, boys.
The world's gone crazy.
Yeah. Or it's more publicised crazy nowadays, isn't it? You get to see so much more.
Well, we get a bit of a scoop of all the crazy from all around the world, which makes it seem like there's a lot of crazy, but there is a lot of crazy.
I think what makes it scarier nowadays is there's unedited footage from people, whereas back in the day, it was decided what we get shown.
Yeah.
So any news outlet or anything, you got shown probably a recycled product from whatever news anchor you look at, whereas now they can't hide anything or change anything or soften
Everyone's
anything down.
Everyone's got a different angle, haven't
literally,
they?
you got a camera phone on you, and it's kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Well, it makes me glad I've got my little little cave here with all my. I added a few toys to the wall. Did you notice? I put the Hot Wheels up that you brought.
I like that.
And I put the Hunter S. Thompson up there.
Is he in shot? Is the custom Hunter S. Thompson in shot?
I think they're probably are they a little bit flashed out, because this is one thing I didn't consider. I thought, oh, these will look fucking. You can see them, yeah. We angled the lights correctly. God damn them, those lights. Mate.
Yeah, but now we've got a sticker bomb on a comic bomb.
It's absolute fucking chaos. Although I do like the closet monkey off Family Guy.
Angry Monkey.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
This is why I've got a selection of sunglasses here, you see, because it's, you know what I mean?
Can you state where you get them from as soon as you put them on?
People don't seem to believe that these are from a minibar.
Yeah, you've been to some fancy places though, so.
I have been some.
If I go to a place, there's a minibar, there's got a fucking head in it. Do you know what I mean? Got Brad Pitt knocking on the door.
Expensive as well, isn't it?
It's like, lads, it's in here.
Yeah, they're from the minibar in the Fight Island Hotel. It actually says it on the side, W Hotels.
That's all you want,
right?
Yeah, small detail, man.
I've got these golden ones, the UFC Fight Night ones.
Oh, nice.
Which
I've never seen them before.
No, I think I got them in Hamburg. Someone had made a few of them and they were handed about. And then these are from Venice Beach. These are about $5. I had these on the podcast yesterday for a short while, until Ollie started to get a bit uncomfortable because he couldn't see the
No,
whites of my
they're
eyes.
Smaller as well, aren't they?
Are they smaller?
They look slightly smaller, and with the blue, it's
striking, isn't it, mate?
It's like an Easter egg that didn't sell.
I've got my yellow T-shirt on underneath.
Oh, don't be so clashy, man. You kill my brain.
Hey, look at that. All the colours.
Yeah, can't have that.
Have you had a little look at this? Look, these open up. Look, and this takes off. That's a little rocket. Look, a little satellite. They open out,
dude. See,
and there's a little fella in there. Look,
just chilling
with an also intact helmet,
fully intact. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I was going to say. I managed to get the Simpsons house and the Quickie Mart at the fucking auctions in Nottingham.
See, that's why I need to go to auctions.
The only thing is, obviously, I'm going to wash them and disinfect them and stuff. They've been built and then they've been taken apart. But as I was looking through the day, my first instinct, especially when I was building this, and I didn't trust myself, I'm like, there's definitely going to be some pieces missing. There are actually extra pieces.
Oh, really?
So I don't know what the fuck they belong to.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's in these boxes. It's kind of a bit of a mystery. But there's loads and loads of minifigures, like Simpsons ones.
Extras.
So, extras.
So someone's bought the blind bags.
Exactly.
See, yeah, I got the kids into that because they were wanting to buy blind bags. Everything nowadays is blind. So it's like LOL dolls, figures,
we had
everything.
What did we have that were in blind bags? We had Boglins, didn't we? Do you remember the little
little
tiny
those
ones?
little football figures that people collected. So like the big head, they were like bobbleheads, but they didn't move. So it's like a resin figure of a footballer. Mate, in a blind bag.
That adrenaline rush when you were opening a pack of trading cards
or stickers,
and you're like,
got.
I found
need.
These. I thought these would be quite interesting and on theme based on the fact that I have built this 1987,
88, 87, 89. I can't remember.
Okay,
it was. We were on it before.
I found these in my office. This is a set of top trumps that used to be my dad's. I want you to guess at the age of these. This is rockets, space rockets.
Okay.
Right?
So what year? 19...
Well, I mean, you can have a little look, because obviously this is technology, so you can have a good guess at when these rockets were being launched and shit.
Yeah, but if they're your dad's...
There is a clue, though. There is a little clue, just that kind of roughly dates them. And I'll be honest, I don't know how old these are, so it's not really much of a competition. But
so is it late 70s, early 80s?
I don't know.
Or is it
You tell
earlier?
me.
The space race?
The clue is on the front on the first card, because it says made in Western Germany.
Oh.
So they were printed before the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Which was 92.
Was it?
No, earlier.
89.
89, yeah. The
Look
reason
at
I
that.
say...
Is that the youngest person in the room?
Yeah.
How old were you in 89? Fucking...
No, not even here.
Right.
Well, I was at school with a girl called Gabby.
We were here, 1989.
Always there.
He wasn't here.
We knew the two different Germanys.
He's having a look. He's
would
having
have
a Google.
Only because Gabby got a piece of the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
Her dad had... Yeah.
This motherfucker.
So I was in primary school.
You can name all the UFC events and who was on them and what, but...
Oh, yeah, you don't want fucking history, mate.
No.
If you want COD shit, it's all in there.
Well, I just thought they'd be interesting.
So I'm going to say 70s.
Yeah, they've got to be, haven't they?
It's got to be.
They're pretty fucking cool. I've got a few that were my dad's. I've got I've got some like wacky races, like wacky cars, and I've got some drag races, and I've got some like military vehicles, and I've got one that's tanks, aircraft. Pretty fucking cool. I'm telling you, man, we need one of them desk cams that Jonathan Ross has got, where you're like,
he's got some cool toys. Have you seen all his shit?
He has.
A lot of Japanese stuff, but
is it? Yeah.
Yeah, some wicked stuff. I listened to a podcast with him and Ricky Gervais.
I bet he's got some toys at home as well. He's a bit freaky, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, I think he's got a dungeon, probably. Yeah. Well, fair play to him.
Oh, he's got a mask.
Yeah.
He's got a mask that opens across the mouth with a zip, for sure.
I couldn't use that with this beard.
So
Jesus.
check this out. This is my next retro set I'm going to build.
Oh, mate. That is like the Gen 2, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't really into the space stuff every now and then.
But then they've got the visors, look. So the helmet shape changed into more of a natural...
This is like a motorbike racing helmet.
Dude.
How
And the big
fucking cool
wheels.
is
Those
that?
one of the first times these came out because they've got the safety caps that they stopped doing because they didn't work.
Of course.
There you go.
Yeah, I got this for Christmas one year, and I've not built it since. And this is when they also gave you the alternatives on the back, where you could make a whole bunch of other shit out of the same pieces.
But you get that in the instructions as well, as you don't now.
No. They call it creator sets now, don't it?
Yeah, and you have to go online. I haven't always got the
You gotta
internet.
scan it with a fucking phone or something. Man, that's genuine 1990s dust on the top of that.
Amazing. Was that yours? Have you bought this?
No, this is mine. I
wow.
had this from brand new. Genuine damp, genuine mold, genuine. Oops, shit. Oh, fucking hell. Broke it already. Look at that.
COVID-92 as opposed to COVID-19.
Can you imagine?
Do you know what I mean?
It's oh,
Don't die.
shit. Oh, no.
Pull it back that way. Pull it back
It's
that way.
probably got... We could probably fucking breathe this in and be vaccinated.
Yeah, definitely. I'll grow another head.
Yeah. You've had yours, haven't you?
Both jabs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at high risk because of my eczema. So my eczema, I get a certain tablet called a prednisolone, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like a steroid. So they
Wicked.
basically said, do you want them now? And I was like, well, I can do.
You get him...
I'm just tonk, mate. Tonk as
Oh,
fuck.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah, I'm always bollocks. But
Rub it on your biceps.
I can't. Well, yeah, just rub the injection.
Don't give any to Jimmy. Don't give any to
I know, I
Jimmy.
wouldn't dare.
He'll be rubbing it on his balls or something. I think they're recording a podcast right now.
Oh, really?
How terrifying.
I love it.
Fuck off. Here we go. Look. Mate, it's even got an old catalogue in it. That's cool. You know, if I was gonna collect another thing, I see, kind of almost built in it. If I was gonna collect another thing, it would be trains. I think. What's this?
This is a poster.
Oh fucking hell! This day just gets better and better. Look at that.
That was a big train set you could get as well, wasn't it?
That's cool, isn't it?
And monorail.
That's pretty fucking awesome,
Oh man.
mate. And are they intact? Of course they're intact. Look at him.
With his visor and his, what is that? An
pretty
extinguisher or a gun?
I don't know.
Flamethrower?
I don't know.
It would have been a flamethrower if I was playing.
What were they supposed to be doing? Mining some shit.
Yeah, probably.
Mtron.
They were setting up fucking Amazon for his takeover, weren't they? Do you know what I mean? How many?
That's this. Is that Jeff Bezos in there?
Yeah.
Oh, of
Watch
course
on
it is.
TikTok.
It's the Bezos set. Fucking hell.
But how many toys survived? Top trumps. I watched a documentary on the Nerf football, the guy that made it.
Right.
So he was, I think he was a traveling salesman or something, and he basically they were trying to work out for making new toys for kids, and he basically said, yeah, let's use foam rubber. And what they did when Nerf first signed up with him, because most toys have got the shelf life of, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years. Like the Turtles didn't last and sell out on shelves every year. It all fizzles out. So because there was no end date in the guy's contract, he's still making bank off of their foam rubber Nerf.
Really?
Yeah, mate.
So was it Nerf balls and then Nerf guns? Is it the same company? It's the same logo, isn't it?
Yeah. So Nerf
I've got
started
that wicked Nerf gun that you got. me,
the revolver.
That's
mate,
awesome.
Honestly, when we play Nerf War at home, that's the one that I go for. The kids know they're not allowed it. My brother always tries to steal it, but then I have to big brother him a little bit.
Sometimes I just walk around the house with that revolver Nerf gun and then the lightsaber that Jamie got me.
Yeah, and a shield on your back.
Just, of course. But that's a battle war.
It's actually
shield.
a battle, yeah.
Battle war.
Well, to be fair, the Nerf gun is. A few tears.
Oh,
Stace won't play with it anymore because we aim for eyes. So I taught the kids always go for eyes. Same with water pistols.
eyes and throat.
Eyes and throat, man.
kids. Eyes and throat, kids.
Yeah. If you discombobulate someone enough with a shot to the eye with a water pistol or a Nerf gun, you could do what you want. I've literally, Stace was in the garden before shooting me with a water pistol. I've got a good shot on her eye, ran past, pulled her kecks down and kept going. And she didn't know what was going off. It was amazing.
I feel like there should be another man. I feel like there should be 3 men here.
Well, there's 2.
Yeah, there are. There are 3 on the box. Fucking hell. Oh,
This will
there
be
he
the
is.
third. Derek, hiding in the corner. I don't like to think they've fallen out.
No, well, there are three men in this set. It's not. It's a good set, Liz.
It's good. It's good.
What year do you reckon this one was then? Come on.
92,
Brainiac.
91, 92.
Come on, Jamie. You need to get your phone out again.
Easy.
I'll give you the code. What do you reckon? 91.
91, 92. 6989 at a guess.
Six. Fuck off. Fuck off. You always got me then.
I know.
I was almost like, he's fucking got the code as well. God
Yeah,
damn
I'd
it.
say it was when. So if
Well,
I
I sprung it on him. There's no way he would. Oh, there's some orange fellas there. I don't remember them.
You're not allowed to say that anymore. Did the tango slap get banned in your school?
Oh,
Talking
yeah.
of orange men.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I've got a tango doll.
Absolutely.
I'll
We
find
were
it.
t-
I'll bring it in. I
We
had to
were
send away
talking
for
about
it.
that earlier, weren't we?
When?
I mentioned that at the gym
Oh no, I wasn't there.
about getting Jimmy a tango sponsorship.
Mate, the tango slap was that he was the guy painted orange, run up to someone
Yeah.
and just give
Slap
him a
him.
good old twatting with
You've
both
been
hands.
tangoed.
You've been tangoed. And that went through school faster than COVID.
It did.
Jesus.
Go on, what year?
1990.
Oh, what did I say? 91,
You
92?
said 92, yeah.
Not to worry. All right,
You were
well.
pretty close.
Yeah, I was damaged
You-
by
you'd
and
think
scarred
it-
by divorce, so I can blame something.
You'd think it was 92 with how good a condition it's in.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tell you what, I used to get such a... Like, talking about the adrenaline rushes of opening a a packet, new
Blind
pack
bag.
of cards. Going and getting one of these, I used to pick them up from like Asda or Co-op.
Yeah,
And they used to have like
Toymaster.
a little, or Toys R Us. They used to have a little rack, didn't they, with a bunch of them. Like going and getting one of the new, like
That's
the
the
new
best.
catalog. Like, oh my god, what's in the next season of like Pirate Lego? I don't know what's in this one.
But
Robin Hood was fucking awesome.
I had the books as well. They used to release a magazine which was like there was instructions for half a dozen trucks, half a dozen ships, half a dozen planes, like just basic stuff. But I sent you pictures of them on the phone the other day because when we were kids, my sister would do it, whatever the building was, and then scribble it out with a biro. So like they've got more markings and stuff. It means nothing to anyone else, but it's just covered in shit that you think, why were you drawing on that? Like if my kids did it now, I'd slap their hands.
It's the same on this though. Like I don't know why I would have drawn around this in fucking pencil, but I have.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
It's a good feeling though. You know when you get a good line on it.
I mean, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
It's like the...
ASMR, like it's that, yeah, just that moochy feeling. It's good, man.
Yeah. So you said you inherited some Lego then, did you, recently?
Yeah. So Brandon next door, bless him, he's passed his driving test, and
Oh, he's too old for Lego then.
exactly, which is what I needed to convince him. But
You trade him your car? Tell me you didn't trade him your fucking car.
no, I gave him some clothes.
Oh, okay.
My
Alright, that's
my
all
old hoodies, because obviously now
That's
see,
where all the full reptile stock's
that's it.
going.
Yeah,
He's trading it for fucking Lego.
but that's
He's-
right.
Have you got a Scrooge McDuck swimming pool?
That's what we need,
You
right?
fucking
That's
have.
what
I
I'm
knew-
working towards. I want to surprise you and just like send
Just
you off the
don't
deep
tell
end.
Wad.
No, I wouldn't tell.
Just
Uncle
don't tell Wad.
I would never. But so when I can remember, I used to do all their computer stuff for them, and Brandon had literally every piece of Star Wars Lego on shelves that he always had set up because he was into Star Wars and Nerf, and so I would lend him all my stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just knew one day he'd come good. So because he needed some work on his car, I was like, bro, what are you doing with your Lego now? And he was like, oh, you can buy it if you want. And I managed to get it for a steal, but he gave me all of his everything but Star Wars box,
Right, okay.
which was all right. It had a few Star Wars bits
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
but it took me about 3 hours to pick out all the McDonald's toys, any bits of any game that they've ever owned in that house. So like Tiddlywinks and fucking old cigars and Action Men and just little salt, just shit. If I'd have weighed it, it would have probably been like, I don't know, 30 kilos. After I took all the shit out, I probably had about 9 kilos of Lego. But he gave me some, the Indiana Jones ones that I gave you.
Oh, yeah, they're standing on the
So
shelf.
Indy
in
and
there.
his dad. But it came with like a German World War I car, and the lights on it were all handguns, the pistols.
Yeah.
But with a light on. So like they'd obviously, I know Lego repurpose everything.
Yeah.
But it was, mate, it's fucking
Wicked.
cool.
What,
Yeah.
that Lego?
Yeah, I'd never seen it before. And it was when they did the Lone Ranger, they did some Indiana Jones as well.
Yeah.
And it was cool.
Yeah, they did, and it might have been out of a Indiana Jones set because they had some like old World War vehicles.
Crossovers,
Yeah,
yeah.
Because Lego always said they'd never make army vehicles, they'd never make tanks.
Yeah.
And then everyone started making tanks out of Lego.
That's what you
Mate,
wanted to do. It's like the metal detector in the space sets. That was always a gun, right?
Of course.
Or a bazooka when
Of
you spun
course.
it round.
Like, and even if you don't have something that's a gun, you've got a gun in your head. It's like
It's
that's-
always going to be a gun.
You know what I mean?
Always.
Or whatever. What was your gun? Were you holding it and with a trigger?
It depends.
Was
It depends. I started to reload. After watching a few films,
Yeah. By what age? By what age were you reloading? When was you?
primary school, easy, 7 or 8.
Really?
Mate. There's a picture of me in a full army jumpsuit with a balaclava. You know the 3-hole balaclava, not the double dickhead balaclava where you got your whole head out.
Not 2 holes in a zip.
I had two holes and a mouth hole. Because my dad lived next door to...
Like a bowling ball.
Yeah, I looked exactly like a bowling ball. A green one. A dark green bowling ball face. And my dad lived next to Army Surplus. So because he had the guilt of the divorce, he was always like, when we were driving to his house, I was like, oh, can we bounce in there? And he'd set me up with all... I had a Transformers backpack, which was full of guns, all cap guns. You remember the old... You had like a strip of red caps, not the round ones.
Yeah.
A long strip that you put in the top, and they were called... Cayman-matic was the brand, but
Fucking hell, I don't know you remember that.
I don't know. That's what I mean.
I remember the caps though, because they were on like a little strip of paper, weren't they?
Yeah, well, the paper ones
were
were the
little
ones
red
that
dots.
they capped out, so they were the paper ones. But there was plastic, and you remember the round plastic ones that you had for like an 8-shot.
Oh yeah, no, they were straight.
Well,
they
these
in
were
like a
straight but
zigzag,
plastic. Yeah.
like a zip type.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you could never
Feed
find
them
them
in.
anywhere because when RoboCop came out, the figures you could put the caps inside RoboCop, and there was like a trigger on his back. Terrible figures, shit. But
If anyone's got any cap guns out there, send us some photos on Twitter.
yeah, the Cayman-matic line, mate. They were literally a legit replica of every gun, but they had to start making them look less and less like guns because kids were getting shot.
Oh, that's no good.
Yeah, well, there's people, like kids were playing in the park and someone would go, that kid's got a gun. Come out, not ask any questions. Down he goes. Oh, it's a cap gun, lads. Any shots left?
So who was shooting them? The police?
Yeah.
In what country?
America mainly.
Oh, okay.
Because they're not allowed, they weren't allowed light guns. Remember when we
well.
had Time Crisis and stuff?
See, this is an argument against having the population having guns.
Mate, it's
Is
got
that
to
you
stop
can't
at
have
some
cap
point,
guns, can
hasn't
you?
it? You know.
Can't have cap guns.
And even if you're running
If
like
you
that.
see a kid running around the park with a gun in England, you don't think it's a real gun.
No.
You know it's a cap gun. Everyone's safe.
Yeah.
In America, you're like, this fucking kid's got a gun.
Run, girls! Fucking run.
Into the sandpit. Dig yourself a hole. Just bury your head. They can't
Just with
see
a
you then.
straw. That kid's got a gun. He's
In the
packing
pond.
heat.
In the pond. Grab a reed.
Mate,
you
he's-
can breathe through it.
He's packing heat. Thing is, it's stuff like that though. From playing video games and playing with toy guns. that
Yeah.
My knowledge of like different guns and weapons is ridiculous. I don't need to know it.
Well, this is it. I mean, you could, if you went back in time, you could pretend to be like a military expert of the
mate,
modern day, just
without
based on
that,
what you
from
know from
playing
like Call of Duty. Yeah, exactly. Like Mystery's the same. Anyone would think he'd spent 40 years as a sniper.
Yeah, mate. That's the thing.
Honestly, he's like, oh yeah, no. So I curved the bullet around the tree,
Yeah, or it was the
caught him around the side of the head, straight through the eye.
it was a 12 times scope on a on this certain stock with this laser. All right, mate. But mate, you sit there for hours Barbie dolling. Like the fact of being a kid never leaves you. I don't think from playing with stuff and Barbie dolling either Barbie doll, Action Man, or Lego or whatever it is. When you get a video game, like you sit there and you want your character to look a certain way, or you want your gun to be set up a certain way. It's fucking, and then they exploit it through. We was looking at a game the other day. Me and David were playing one of the older Call of Duties just for a fuck about, and I was setting my guns up as you do, Barbie dolling, and there was a gun that you could buy a skin to make it look like the A-Team or something like that. Like it was just this thing, and it was like 1,200 credits, which works out to be about £9. And I was just thinking, who the fuck is either stoned enough or pissed enough to be like, well, yeah, obviously, buy it.
It's one of those two, though, isn't it?
What the fuck?
It's one of those two. It's like, have we got enough Cheetos? Yeah, we got enough Cheetos in. I can burn £9 on this.
You can't do, like, who does that?
I don't know.
I don't buy
know.
anything.
Someone must, though.
No.
Someone must, though. But you also, you remember the times when games came self-contained.
Solid, done.
It was it. That was it. That was the product. The game was there. If there was an update for it, there was a new version
Yeah.
of that game.
There was never, like, on Well, even if you look at consoles with cartridges, especially, they're still going now. And they still work, but it was a
shit.
complete game. Yeah, mate, it's always the rose tint, isn't
I
it?
keep meaning to get my N64 out, but I know we're going to be desperately disappointed.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law asked me, he says, you still got an N64? And I was like, yeah. He says, borrow it, no problem. Bought it downstairs and it didn't leave my house. So he got from being that excited, and it's a SNES, N64, full rumble packs, memory cards, 4 pads, all official, GoldenEye, and it was the biggest lump of turd. And he literally sat there, he was like, oh no, I'll leave it there, mate. I was like, don't worry, I've just got it all out the fucking loft and everything.
That's no good.
Yeah.
I might hook, if it's late enough at night, I think 1080 snowboarding might still be a blast.
It will be, as long as you get yourself in that same funky moochie mode that you used to be in when you were, say, 17, 18.
Funky moochie.
Like, if I could get my cousins
I was
together.
drunk on cider at 17.
Exactly.
That's what was going on.
Hooch. 2 dogs. 2 dogs alcoholic lemonade.
No, I'd either get a 2-litre bottle of cider,
Yeah.
which was about £2.50, really.
Less
£3.
than that. Less for White Lightning.
Oh, no, I'm not drinking that kind of piss.
Oh, sorry.
I was drinking the good stuff, the
Yeah.
Asda brand.
Yeah.
And then sometimes what I do is I get a small bottle of vodka and a bottle of Coke, and you empty some of the Coke out and put the vodka
Yeah.
in it, and that'd see me through a couple of art classes.
Stace
Easy.
did that on her last day at school.
Good afternoon at school.
Yeah, well, she'd use a Tango bottle because if you remember, the Tango bottles were black, and not that you could see vodka, but you couldn't tell what was in it. So her last day of school, she bought a small bottle of vodka with her friend, and they split it across 2 500 mil, if
Yeah,
that, 250
yeah.
mil bottles of Tango. She can't remember jack shit.
I bet.
Literally nothing.
I remember falling asleep in the park in the Arboretum after a little bit too much vodka on a Friday afternoon, right around the same time that M&M came out.
Oh, nice.
I have a weird memory of eating chips and mayonnaise and listening and watching My Name Is on the TV in the bar, and then I went and had a sleep in the park.
I'm just going to nip off. I'm
yeah,
bouncing
went
for
and
a
had a
kip.
sleep in the park. Yeah,
Dude, I've not slept in the park. Stacey's dad did. He used to take the dogs for a walk down the
can't
field.
sleep in parks these days.
No, but-
there's kids running around with cap guns.
Yeah, you don't want to get shot.
You don't want to get shot.
Yeah,
when you,
take your tube.
It's the
take your
worst
bike.
way to wake up.
The worst I got, my mate got his flat. Dean got a flat right next to Full Street Police Station in Derby.
Right.
And it was our hideout.
Is it like the adrenaline rush? Is that
Mate, it was the best place. Well, the problem was the drug dealer lived next door.
right?
And the deal we had was, because I had a moped, I would lend him my moped to go and pick up. So it was a case of, if you needed green or resin, you'd knock on the door and go, what you're saying is, like, how much petrol you got? You'd be like, how fucking far are you going, dude? It goes fucking 30 mile an hour. So they'd take my ped and fuck off and come back and we'd get a bit of green. But that was right next to the police station. And this is even before the days that, like, all shops were open all the time. And I can remember saying, like, I think we scratched together about £7. And it's like, should we stay in and get pissed? It's like, yeah, let's do that. So my mates at the time, still mates, I still know them, Dean and Michael, they were from Derby. So I didn't really know a lot of the places they were going. And they're like, there's an off license just up here. And it was like 50 miles away. And we walked. And when we got there, I'd been used to drinking like Stella, Bud, just normal beer. Because I'm not a big fella. I've never really been into drinking a lot. So my body can't handle a lot. So at the time, being 16, I was fucking tiny. So when we got in there, they decided that it was more important to have a stronger beer for the money we've got than an enjoyable drink.
Right.
So they bought 3 cans of Super Skull and whatever. And like literally that was all we had, like for the money. So I was like, oh yeah, you don't want to say no. You don't want to lose face. And I was being sick out of his loft room window for, I think, 5 hours. I ran myself a cold bath.
Yeah.
Because he had no money on the gas at the time.
Right.
And I've never been that drunk in my life. Off of like half a can. I was like you on Independence Day or whatever the fuck, when we were in Vegas and you nearly got robbed. Dude, I was worse than Slim. I was absolutely on my arse. And I can't even get the can. If someone had ever have it, I can't get it there. The smell. I know a lot of people have got that reaction to whatever drink it is, if it's whiskey or vodka or whatever. But
It's Red Bull, vodka and Red Bull.
for you,
Yeah, absolutely. I can't smell Red Bull.
Really?
Can't be dealing with it. I had one night where I drank far too much vodka and Red Bull, and I just ever since then, yeah.
Wow. How long ago was that? So what would you have been? 16, 17?
Yeah, I think I was maybe just 17.
Wow.
Because I quit drinking fairly shortly after that. Yeah.
I can see why it put you off.
I was dressed as the Crow that night.
That's the best way to be.
Yeah.
Unless you're being sick dressed as a crow.
Oh, that wasn't good.
No.
No.
It loses all the illusion,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it rubs all the black lipstick off and around your mouth. You know what I mean?
Just look like
Well,
you
that
can-
little dribble of sick and a couple of bits. You can't blend carrot in with white and black face paint.
No, it's like you've been kissing a sloppy dog, innit?
Ugh.
As in a bow wow, not a
Yeah,
lady.
yeah, I mean, well-
I'm not trying to get you in trouble or bring up any kids from the past.
I mean,
Daddy. We nearly got arrested because of Red Bull.
yeah.
I thought I probably told you before, but when Red Bull first came out, it was probably about 95, 96, and I was heavy into motorbike trials. And my friend at the time took us to a powerboat race because we used to go out every weekend practicing or riding, whatever it was. And this one weekend, Colin, he always had boats, and he was a mechanic. And basically, this guy was, those powerboats that just fly off, turn around, come back, and they turn on a six.
Powerboat game.
Yeah, it was fucking.
I was trying
brilliant.
to remember what game it was now. Powerboat game.
It was probably called Powerboats on the Game Boy.
I think it was.
One where it was like at a 45 degree, the whole screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know why I remember that, but there you go. It's
You
in there.
remember all that kind of
Yeah,
shit.
it's stupid. But we went, and basically there was the first Red Bull stand I'd ever seen. Never heard of it, never
Yeah.
seen it. So to me, it was when it was released, and obviously they were doing this big promotion. And as kids at the time, so I might have been a bit young, it might have been 93, 94, but we weren't allowed it. So you go up any free sample, you take my kids around Costco and they get a fucking full meal. So when we're going there, same principles apply. So we're going round, and I got my dad grab us one of them, and because my dad thinks, well, it's free, fuck it, well, he's sending everyone up, like we'll get a crate of this before we go home. So me and Brent have drank probably 9, 10. We were there all day.
Oh no.
And he was stopping at ours that night. So we got home, and my dad's got the loft conversion with a big, like the eyebrow windows on the back.
Yeah.
And we were stood upstairs, and I swear to God, still now, there was a guy going through a drawer at the house behind my dad's with a torch. It looked super burglary. So we were obviously white, completely twatted on this Red Bull, 13, 14 hours, belting it downstairs, trying to explain what was happening, and just not getting anywhere. Eventually convinced my dad to call the police. And it's like this big old manor house behind my dad. It's a big old gaff. And so there's a dirt track behind him, then this house. So we were all watching, like just over the top of the loft window like this, trying to be inconspicuous so we don't alert the burglar. And it wasn't until Brent was a bit younger than me, stood on the other window, and we're all watching the police turn up and trying to do it in a stealth way. And he just started screaming, "He's in that fucking room!" And he's like 11, 12. So the police literally dealt with whatever was going on, and then sent another car to give us a bollocking for shouting, even though we called the police, for shouting that there was a fucking
hell.
which way to get in.
So what was it? Was he?
No, they never told us. They wouldn't tell us. They said we're not allowed to disclose that information. So we don't know if it was the people that lived there that had a power cut or lost the keys or whatever. But yeah, still convinced this day there was a fucking burglar, and it was all because of Red Bull.
And you got no closure.
No.
So every time you drink a Red Bull now, you have flashbacks to burglary.
Fuck them. I'm on bongo.
Mate, you probably got. There's probably if you lived in America, there'd be a court case.
Have you seen the Nirvana court case?
Which one?
The kid off Nevermind is suing Nirvana.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was like his identity, and he really bought into it and loved it to the point where he got sick of it, and now he's decided.
Until he needed some cash. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Cash converters only give
You
so
know he'll
much.
get some though. Someone will.
But that's
someone will
kind of
get some.
terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah,
Have you
it
seen
is.
the meme where it says the Nirvana baby sues Nirvana or the estate of Nirvana, and the Van Halen baby says "fucking grow a pair" or something? Yeah, the one with the cigarettes in his arm. Fucking sick.
Yeah.
But I don't get that.
I don't get it.
I've just watched Bob Ross. You know the Bob Ross documentary on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Superb.
Is it?
Heartbreaking and superb. And obviously I don't want to give it all away because it's an hour and a half that's worth watching. But it's another example of like exploitation and all the rest of it. And just there's some bits that you can sort of relate to or agree with, that if a certain party didn't get involved, maybe they wouldn't have got to the place they get to. But it's how ugly greed is. because it's let's say that the estate's worth, I don't know, £1 million or £10 million, whatever it is. If there's not enough for everyone, then it's kind of not fair. So like if you're going to make 10 million and you can't share anything, you don't deserve any of it. But and especially when you've sort of risen together, and again, I'm trying not to give anything away, but it's fascinating to see, but it's endless. It never stops.
Yeah.
It's been going on from whenever. But just how someone can take someone else's name and just rinse it. I think it happened with the Lambretta clothing line.
Okay.
So Lambretta scooters didn't copyright the name.
Right.
The clothing line is nothing to do with the scooters.
Oh, is that right? So they just use
Yeah.
they just use the name.
They're nothing to do with each
Remember
other.
that guy that bought 21st Century Fox?
Yeah, I do.
Like ahead of the turn of the 21st century, and he was like, "This is gonna."
You can imagine it. It's Time PC in the kitchen. Barbara, watch this. £8? We'll never see that back. You fucking watch mine up. If you could go back in the future, back in time now, to tell someone something, other than like insane sporting events that like were big shocks or big upsets, that's the type of thing.
Yeah, what would you do though? I mean, what
Invest
would be
in
worth doing?
Google, eBay, Amazon,
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah.
Invent Facebook. It'd be like
Is-
Hot
is
Tub
this-
Time Machine too, wouldn't it?
Is this the point where you go, in 20 years' time, you'd come back to this moment and tell yourself to invest in crypto?
Yeah, or I'd tell myself to sit down long enough to understand what the fuck it is,
Yeah.
because it kind of scares me
I've
too
still
much.
got no fucking idea what it is, really. It's numbers on a screen, but then all money is now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
My brother-in-law had a Bitcoin, a whole Bitcoin,
A whole one?
and then he got rid. Or he had a whole one or a half one, but like sold it. He got a decent lump out when he sold it, but in comparison to what it's worth now, is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, I still own officialconormcgregor.co.uk and officialconormcgregor.com that one day I will try and sell or say to him, what are you saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
I was desperate to let Jose know
Yeah.
so that he could make some like a tax site from it.
Uh-huh.
But then looking at his tweets recently, he's been really quite nice to Connor. So I was like, all right, fair enough. I'll not approach him.
Yeah.
Maybe the Diaz brothers.
Did you watch the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley fight?
I did. I watched the majority of the build-up,
Yeah.
and so the event I had on Sunday while it was live. So I didn't see the full fight. I've obviously seen the fallout afterwards. But yeah, I wanted it to be as interesting as it was. I think coming from an MMA background, as far as that was my interest, it's always there's never really two boring fights back to back, or there's always something happening, because of the diversity of where the fight can go. Whereas, I mean, I always loved boxing. I fell in love with boxing and wrestling when I was a kid, and the part that brought me into MMA was more you get quite a bit of the pantomime of the wrestling element,
Yeah.
but then you have to back it up like the boxing
Yeah.
element. So people have to answer for their actions. So there was the Lions Den sort of pantomime back in the day was very similar to wrestling, because Shamrock had been in the WWF. So that's what sort of brought me into it. But there was always an element of boxing that frustrated me, because if it was a 12-round fight and it was a boring fight, it's a fucking long time.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of the corruption and like cherry-picking opponents and stuff, where Dana always said, the best fight the best. I know there's been a bit of jostling and Conor sort of picking opponents, but before that, it was very much the best fight the best.
Yeah, I mean they do build certain fighters and stuff, of course.
Yeah.
But like you never fight in journeyman in
No.
MMA. Like MMA journeymen don't really exist, and that's always been the problem with boxing. Is like you have to kind of wait until someone's 20 fights into their career to be interested. And I think that's part of the reason why people are hating on Jake Paul, is because he's making loads of money at 4 fights into his career.
Yeah.
But I mean, aside from the fact that the fight was awful, and that was really more down to Tyron Woodley than anything, because I didn't expect much more from Jake Paul.
No.
But he just didn't. I mean, it's the same as his last few fights. Although against in hindsight, against Vicente Luque, he did put his foot down on the gas.
Mate, that was a fun
But
fight.
he did also pay for it, didn't he?
He did. And that was almost like trying to prove a point, but not taking care of what you're doing. You're just recklessly trying to prove a point. And it's one of them. Like, if you look at Tyron Woodley Strikeforce days, there was nothing really that exciting. Him and Paul Daly had a fight, and it was like no one really remembers it.
Yeah.
It was only when he came and clipped Koscheck, and then sort of started like really showing people that, especially, I mean,
he wasn't mad popular all the way into
Ever.
the title fight with Robbie Lawler.
ever, and I don't think he's ever really had a massive popularity behind him. But it was one of them that the Strikeforce thing. He came in quite quietly and then sort of exploded a bit because he did have a few decent performances. But it was more, I mean, he looks like things bother him.
Yeah.
He looked like things affect him. And the problem is that with the generational gap between the YouTube generation of Jake Paul and the child star element of that, which he is, and the respect side of things that Tyron was trying to do, because you could see that Tyron's trying to, like, even there was a press conference, he goes, how many rap videos have you watched? And that on its own...
Oh, mate, that face-off, face-to-face thing that he did
awful,
with Ariel
right?
was really bad. Although Jake Paul did look kind of silly at the end of it. I mean, Tyron didn't look great, but like they both just looked kind of silly after it.
But Jake Paul's character is silly.
Yeah. Did you see BJ Penn react to him doing the lick of his gloves?
I saw him go fake
He's
and
like,
real.
Don't ever fucking, copy me again. Yeah. Where does he go next though, Jake Paul? Because I don't want to see him rematch Tyron Woodley.
I don't think he'll rematch Tyron Woodley, and the problem is that's because Tyron put him in too much of a fight. Like, for anyone who's ever trained for the first time and they feel what happens to your legs, that's scary. You know when you can't walk back down the gym stairs or whatever, and you know you've had a good session. I mean, we've all been there, we've all tried it, but if you haven't, and someone's done that to your legs through anticipation and energy dump and fighting and all the rest of it, the minute that happens, and it just completely takes you back to being a baby. You're like, I'm helpless. And I think because Tyron put the pressure on him and did clip him and made him uncomfortable, it put him in that position that he was like, all right, listen, I'm good to say that I've beat you. I'm going to move on. Yeah. Because his credit gets smaller. So at the minute, he's the big money fight because he's undefeated Jake Paul, and and it's like I was saying to Veronica, he's the pantomime. So he's the pantomime that is getting the money fight, but it's a bit like when Conor was fighting. It only carries on if you keep winning or doing what you say you're going to do. So I rang you before.
Although the thing with that though is, and I think Conor proved this. I think people are now, especially with boxing, and people go, undefeated records. Like, I think a lot of people still buy into the undefeated record thing, and I think they buy into it even more when it's an authentic undefeated record where they've beaten a whole bunch of Julio Cesar Chavez, when he was fighting everybody that was available, and I think he was undefeated into like 60 or 70 fights.
Insane.
That's incredible. And like with Khabib, I know a lot of people still don't feel like we saw like the end of his career. Like, I still feel like the best years of his career were in front of him, and most likely he would have picked up a loss or two at some point.
I think it would have made him better as well.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But then, like, the difference with Conor, like when he lost to Nate the first time, I think his stock went up because of the way he dealt with it. And the other thing to bear in mind with Jake Paul is that, like, the people that are following him are not invested in him because he's a boxer. No, they're invested in because he's him. Yeah. And his journey of him being a boxer and winning and then losing might just be a part of his journey.
It's just another part of the storyline.
They might just kind of follow along.
See, well, that's where you see the credit decreases. I'm not saying it goes once he loses, because Conor had he had all the wins. He predicted all the wins. So when he lost to Nate, did he come straight back and beat him?
Yeah. Rematched him straight away.
But then he went into boxing, where, well, look, he's this big mouth that's backed up and then revised what he did because he lost so graciously. He also revised it and came back and won at the same weight. Yeah. But now I'm going to step over to boxing, which not a lot of people can do and demand what he demanded.
But that was a win-win for him.
Exactly.
Because he was fighting the best.
Yeah, and there's literally nothing to lose.
Exactly. Different with when you're Tyron and you're fighting a YouTuber, because it would have ruined his rap game for sure.
Exactly.
Can you imagine?
Dude, don't even start.
You can't act tough. People are just gonna make a you getting knocked out by Jake Paul gif.
Yeah.
And play it over and over again.
Which, it's one of them that if Jake Paul loses to Tyron, he can almost lean on it to go, well, the guy's a fucking champ. So he's still got a couple more credits to be able to get back. If he wins, then he can continue. If he fails, then he can just go into his next option, which is, I don't know, bobsledding or Olympic fucking bowling or curling or whatever the fuck he's going to do. Because essentially, it's the audience that he's built, and now he's got following him. It's not new fans. It's not a sport in particular. It's the interest of what he's doing. So not long ago, he was kicked off YouTube because he'd gone to the suicide forest, and he had his Yoda, I'm sure it's him, he had his Yoda ears on, and there was a guy that had actually committed suicide, and they caught it on the camera, and he was like, oh, and sort of tried to do that jokey, laugh it off sort of thing, and it got so much heat.
Fuck.
So they react. Was it his brother? Yeah, okay. So, well, one of the Pauls, and they got kicked off YouTube, and it sort of, you can see how it affected him, because then there's all these reaction videos of him crying and like, look, this is my livelihood. I was not intending any sort of disrespect. But that will follow him wherever he goes and whatever he does. But that shows you just the power of a following, of a gang, of a horde, if you like.
Mate, they're making fucking so much money though. Like, is it like who does he fight? I saw Matt Brown fancies it. Like, I'm trying to. The difficult thing is finding someone who's out of their UFC contract that's got a big enough name to be of interest.
Yeah, I don't think Matt Brown's gonna.
Not at all.
I don't think he's gonna ring a bell loud enough for him.
McGregor's got 2 fights left on his contract.
I think Dana might go, yeah, do you know, give me off.
No
chance. We'll do it. I wouldn't be surprised.
No chance.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it's more likely. I said this to you earlier today, didn't it? I think it's more likely that they do a collab with Bellator and he fights MVP. MVP would fucking knock him out.
Maybe.
Sure.
I don't know if he'd look at MVP and think he's a bit fast and he's too dangerous.
Yeah.
Like Roy Nelson's called him out. But
called out Jake Paul?
Yeah. If you want to fight a fat old man. But
Jesus.
He'd murder him. But
that looked like a disagreement at a barbecue.
Wouldn't it? A tailgate.
Oh, yeah.
You stole my beer there now, son. What?
Oh, man.
That'd be good. I'd like to watch that.
It'd be a mess.
But the thing is, it's finding a name, because it's that celebrity deathmatch.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's celebrity deathmatch. For how long it keeps rolling this cash
So
cow.
what celebrity would you want to see him fight then?
Mr. T.
Mr. T,
I just
yeah.
want to see
Is he
Mr.
still alive?
Yeah. He's still going.
Is he?
Yeah, he's good.
Fucking hell.
He's at most boxing matches. You see him in the crowd.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his real name? Go on.
Is it Terrence, or is that Mr. That's Hulk Hogan, isn't it? Terrence. It's like Theo Lawrence.
Oh.
Is it Lawrence?
Oh, I don't know.
Lawrence
Who
or
knows?
Terrence?
One of them.
Lawrence. Is it Lawrence?
Yeah.
Is it like surname TH? T. I'm not going to remember that.
Why not?
I got for Lawrence. You're not going to remember that, are you?
Lawrence Tareed?
Yeah, he's the man who's my hero.
I would have never remembered that. There he is.
Yeah, so
there he is.
I want to see, like, the thing is, we've always said this, but the whole thing that Jake Paul's doing now is almost going back to the beginning of the UFC.
What about CM Punk?
What, boxing Logan
Why not?
Paul?
Fuck it, why not?
What?
Why not?
Because I don't think he can throw a punch, can he? CM Punk.
What about in MMA?
Oh, yeah.
That'd work.
Anyone. Ben Askren. Ben Askren.
Ben Askren would beat him up in MMA.
I'd love to see. But
that's not fun, because then you know what's going to happen. Like it's got to have a coin toss element to it. That's why the Tyron Woodley thing was interesting, because it was like, well, Tyron should probably knock him out, but he might not, and he might run out of gas. And he might be a bit gun shy.
3 years ago, Tyron, I would have loved to see him against Jake Paul, but I think Tyron seems to take a lot so personally, and it does affect him. And this, we and Veronica were having a conversation at the gym, because I was saying, I find it hard that no one in his team sort of said, this rap thing you're doing, do you really like it? Have you listened to it?
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying that he can't do it. He can do what he wants.
Oh, yeah.
But he's opening himself up for criticism, and Tyron's not the type of person that takes criticism well at all.
And he walked out to his own song. That's always bad news.
Yeah.
I never won a fight walking out to my version of England Belongs to Me.
Well, there you go.
Never won.
Yeah.
And when I fought in Nottingham, I was like, I'm going back to the 1970s version.
Fuck 'em. We'll go straight to this.
I'm not using the new version.
I wasn't done.
Yeah, no.
But
did you watch Barboza Chikadze?
I did.
What do you reckon? Have you watched any of the Ultimate Fighter this season?
I watched it all.
Did you?
I missed the last couple of episodes, but
should have drafted you in for that part of the podcast.
have you neither of you watched it?
No, I didn't watch it.
It was good to have it back. There was not as much Aggie drama as there normally is.
Okay, that's why I didn't watch it. You see, because I was like, because I saw a clip on social media of two guys that used to be on the UFC roster.
Okay.
One of them looking like a lightweight and one of them looking like a middleweight.
Okay.
And they were in a bathroom of a house, like a Vegas, like cookie cutter house.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, no, I've never been knocked out. I can't get knocked out."
Well, that's Ultimate Fighter season 13 or something. Clink.
And knocked him out. And knocked him into a pile of towels or something.
Yeah.
That's a different season.
Years ago.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I saw that pop up on my phone. I'm like, oh, goddamn, I'm not watching this season of Ultimate Fighter, and put it down.
No, it wasn't this one. So this one, the main takeaway from this...
They missold me on it then. I blame the UFC.
The whole thing on this one was... I personally don't think that Ortega came across that good.
Did he not? No.
I thought I'd get on with him. He's a good lad. I'd get on with Ortega.
And now you don't feel like that.
I don't know. He just seemed almost... He seems different. Like, he seems to have lost a little bit of his humility. Just slightly. Whereas he's probably a sound bloke. I don't know. But, like... There wasn't a lot of argy-bargy anyway. And Volk's quite a passive person. He's like, doesn't really give a fuck. He does a lot of his talking in the cage.
Did you see much of the training and stuff?
Yeah, there was bits and bobs. But it was, I mean, Ortega took the first 4 victories.
Right.
But then Volk came back and, I mean, I don't know. I think both of them were his team. Both the fighters that won were his team. But it was one of them where they weren't good winners, maybe. That's maybe the best way of describing it.
Right.
But I don't know if that was for TV, because he's from the Gracie background, Ortega, I never thought that he'd be a loudmouth, in-your-face, cocky lad at all. I didn't think he's that kind of guy. But...
And he is.
I think from the... Well, I don't know if it's just hammed up a bit on the TV. Maybe a little bit. Yeah. Because even to say that he didn't come across that well, there wasn't that much of anything that I could be able to say to you, oh, he was a dick when he did this. Cause,
mate, when they used to sit you down and do stuff. So, I mean, I only did one of the primetime shows. We did like the 3-part thing. But then even the pre-fight interviews that they do, where they sit you down in a room in the hotel with a bit of a backdrop behind you and ask you a few questions. Like, they're really good at leading those questions.
Yeah.
You know, and on the primetime show, they'll be like, so, because obviously that's when they got the pajamas quote out of me for the GSP thing.
Coming
they were
out
like,
in his pajamas.
so GSP, and like they're reading it off a bit of paper. It's like, so it says here that he says you're not a martial artist. What are your thoughts on that? But repeat the question in the answer. You know what I mean? Because then it all sounds like your words. Well, he says I'm not a fuck, and then you get fired up, and you're in training camp, and you're a bit like a feral dog, and It's a bit of a weird pantomime, isn't it?
It is.
I bet some of it's editing, because I mean Ortega, although he's very laid back.
That's what
unless
I was
he's playing
expecting.
a game to like try and get under Volkanovski's skin.
Yeah, I was expecting the Big Lebowski.
Well, you really,
A bit more so.
like slippers and a gown and
just a bit more
White
mooshy.
Russian.
Just like just properly chilled, smoking a joint with a hair clip.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to be. But like I say, there wasn't anything that outstanding from it. Like, you know, in past seasons, you've had, I don't know, some insane guys. Junie Browning, that guy, was he called Rock Lobster? Where one guy got spiked on his head outside, and that guy, Lobster, got kicked out as well because he was being the ref between two other guys.
Rock Lobster.
Red Lobster, Rock Lobster. He was called Lobster. I swear to God, Google it. Lobster in Tough. Honestly.
It sounds like a weird dream that you've had.
Yeah, maybe. I have had a lot of weird fever dreams. Like shaving my whole beard off and getting sent to prison.
Yeah.
Mate, I do so many heists. So many
Really?
heists. Yeah. I watched Heist and Cocaine Cowboys on Netflix. And
ever since you started making a plan to rob the local Barclays.
I don't know, man. You know what? I've been having heist dreams and prison dreams my entire adult life.
Really?
And I don't know if it's just like a warning.
Maybe you had maybe you're living a parallel life, and like when you're when you're asleep, you're tapping into the other parallel life memories. Imagine that.
See, there you go.
Imagine if you're a heister.
I had a theory that I was going to hit Joe Rogan with when I met him. But he didn't trust me already from me introducing myself, so I didn't want to go into a whole spiel.
Were you going to attempt to look into it?
Yeah, maybe. I didn't know, right, as a concept, if all life has been lived. So either from, let's say, caveman to spaceman.
Right.
So we go for another, I don't know, 200 years from here, right?
Yeah.
So let's say we get to 2022, okay? So deja vu isn't actually deja vu.
Right.
It's just an unlocked memory that you've already lived. So your life,
Yeah.
when you die, you'd be respawned, and it could be Victorian.
You played way too much Call of Duty.
You know what I mean, though?
Oh, I've got to wait for respawn now.
Yeah. Oh, got a respawn delay. But once you die, you get reincarnated or reborn or whatever it is, but you could land in the Old West.
Yeah.
Or you could be in, I don't know, but
Space Ranger time.
a Space Ranger, it could be,
That's what Ollie called it.
exactly, a Space Marine, Space Hulk.
So
So
no, Ollie called it a Space Ranger.
that's
He's
like
never had a
something off
childhood.
Toy Story.
He's never had a
Has he
childhood.
got toys?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he had a childhood.
He's got no interest in Lego, has he?
No, none at all.
You
None
should
at
buy
all.
him some for his 40th.
He wouldn't know what to do with it.
No.
He wouldn't know what to
No.
do with it.
But do you know what I mean?
He'd try
about-
and dissolve it in a glass
yeah,
of water and
protein
drink
shake.
it. Yeah.
So you get what I'm saying, though? So all life's been lived, and so essentially you get dropped back in. So if you land back onto this one, the generation I'm in, it's like a deja vu. It's just because you've already lived that life.
that right?
Does that make sense?
No, not really.
Okay. But there
I
you
mean,
go.
I don't think it's supposed to make sense.
No, because it's a bit of a trippy green thought.
It is.
But
trippy.
to me, it was an option. Oh, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people believe in religion and other stuff, which is all obviously superheroes and fairy tales.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can have my own. I can make them up.
Yeah, of course. Well, did you say they're making the Matrix again?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Do we need a fourth?
We didn't need the second, third, really. The first one was all right.
What was the one with the mechanical octopus flying through the tunnels?
Is that 3?
That's 3, isn't it? Where they're flying along and they're ripping shit apart.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
one had Damien from Home and Away as Mouse. You know, on the what's it?
Oh yes. You see, I think my problem with Matrix, although I enjoyed watching them when I was watching them, like everyone was fucking really excited about the fact that Keanu Reeves has learnt martial arts for this role. I'm like, hang on a minute, he's learnt martial arts or he's learnt the choreographed fucking movements. So then I'm watching it like, come on then, Keanu, motherfucker,
Hit me up.
Come on, do your kung fu, and then I'm like, no, and I was already ready for a critical mind. You know? It's like if you've been, if you're a war veteran and you're watching, Call of Duty, you're watching Mystery with his fast trigger sniper. Yeah,
right. That's not technically possible, Sunshine.
Yeah. You're not taking into account wind drag.
No, I told you about my granddad when it was Christmas Day once. You know, when we had when PlayStation 2 came out. So whenever that was, 2000 or whatever, and we had a FIFA game or a Pro Evo game and a wrestling game. And my granddad, we didn't realise he was sat in the living room just having a bit of a snooze. And me and my brother were playing Pro Evo or whatever it was. And he sort of sat up and he's like, oh, bloody hell. Oh, I didn't know football was on. Christmas, football, bloody hell, all right. Sat there, got all comfy. And so me and Will twigged onto this and just started fucking about. So we'd pass the ball to each other, but just like run around in circles and then run up to the goalkeeper and pass it to the keeper. And he's like, what the bloody hell? Bat, what's happening with it? What's going on with this? And literally could not get his head around it. So then we put the wrestling on. And literally the whole afternoon was just, unfortunately, mugging my granddad off looking at it now, but we loved him to bits. But he didn't know. He didn't know what it was. My uncle once filmed him on his own tractor ploughing his field. That's not a euphemism, that's legit. He was ploughing his field with a tractor. And then he showed it him back and he could not comprehend the fact that he was in the telly. Simple, man. Bless him. But yeah, I don't know what they made of this.
Did you see that? It was a fucking video. I think it was on that British memes account on Instagram of it was a woman who had a voice call.
Right.
And she was showing her newborn baby on the voice call. And she was having the call. She went, "Hey, oh, Mum, have a look at this." And she turned it. And the mum thought it was a photo. And she went, "Oh, that's a funny looking kid." And she was like, "Mum, it's a voice call." And she's like, fucking...
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll have to find it and send it to you.
Oh,
yeah,
mate,
it's funny.
Putting your foot in it. Have you? The amount of times I pull my phone out to show someone something on my phone, and being a graphic designer, it's either design or logo or artwork.
You never find it.
It's either not finding it or I literally open my phone and the amount of groups that I shouldn't be in on Instagram, on WhatsApp with my family or friends, like some of the lads that are in this group need to be locked up. But the pictures they send, they can be classed as grotesque or vulgar or X-rated. And you can guarantee that I could be in a library with a nun and she's like, oh, have you done that for me, dear? I'm like, yeah, no worries. Let me just show you the thing I've drawn for you for free for my Jesus points. Swipe my phone up and there's like a massive cock or some infested nipple or something so inappropriate that this poor woman's... And I'm like, hey, ignore that. And it's every time. So yeah, I've stopped. I didn't know you could unsync WhatsApp to your gallery, but I've definitely done that because... I got into far too much shit.
Yeah, you don't want to do that,
mate.
I end up having stuff saved on my phone that I just or like I won't see that there's a WhatsApp message and I'll open my photos to look for something else and there's like something Mystery sent me the other week. I'm not even going to talk about what it was, but he sent me 2 groups of photos,
right?
And he'd obviously gone through and selected something at the end of one group of photos, before sending me the next group, and the last thing was some comic book of Batman doing untold things to the Joker.
Was the Joker all right?
Yeah, the Joker was not. Well, I mean, he looked all right. He might not have been all right the next day. So I put a tweet out, obviously, like last time, about an event to talk about.
Okay.
So the first recommendation from So Rebel was Ultimate Fighter McGregor versus Faber. Do you remember we were the final?
That was good.
Shall I look it up?
Yeah, look it up because it was. I think the main thing that Conor could relax in that season was because he knew he wasn't fighting Faber. He'd already got rid of Chad.
Would you watch it if he did it again?
Would I watch it if Conor did it again?
Conor against Jake Paul, Ultimate Fighter.
I love Car Crash, mate. I love Car Crash. I think the thing is, you can't help but watch. Like with Conor, we know all the variants of him, or we know the majority of variants. That's either true. Nice Conor, nasty Conor, aggressive Conor, friendly Conor. There's so many versions. But you'd watch any of them turn up. Do you know what I mean? And I think because he's got the Irish banter and that he's very quick with that sort of thing because it's how we've all grown up. He'll put the majority of people on their back foot.
So, who would you put him up against then? If you were because obviously there's no reason to
Ferguson.
Put him up against. Would you? Yeah. Tony, that'd be batshit crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony Ferguson would have people wrestling hot tubs and shit. Oh, of course it was. Hall against Lobov. I've actually got
Hall
it pulled up
against
here.
Lobov. Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, would you? The problem is, I'd like to watch him against Khabib, but Khabib won't do that.
No.
And then we don't get a fight at the end of it.
No.
Diaz?
Nate or Nick?
Either.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing
How
that.
do you think Nick's going to do against Lawler? He don't look in fantastic shape, if I'm honest. Or at least he didn't in the photos that you posted the other day.
The thing is, it's because he's not going to lose anything. Even if he loses to Lawler, right? He'll go, well, I've beat him before. And the judges are wrong. And the judges are wrong. I beat him. Like, there's never been a time when Nick has lost a decision and he's gone, fair enough. Like, he shakes hands and he's polite and all the rest of it, but ultimately he's like, George hits like a bitch. Yeah, well,
yeah,
but he hit you really hard and he beat you.
But then, just like you were talking about with Jake Paul a bit earlier, like, does he lose his kind of luster? Luster?
Look at how he's come back and the interest that's already there, and he's been away for at least 5 years.
I'd like to see him box Anderson Silva.
I'd like to see. I'd
I
watch
wonder how
him
many
every
fights
day.
he's got on his contract.
What, with the UFC?
Yeah.
1.
I bet he's still on 10 and 10. Fucking how old's his contract?
Mate. Like,
he must have signed
UFC
a new
26.
one. You'd have thought he'd have signed a new one.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. But
I'd like to see him box. That'd be good.
It would be exciting because...
And then you got Vitor against De La Hoya.
And Tito against Anderson.
Oh, no. Is that on the same card?
I really don't know. I don't know.
It's chaos, isn't it?
They're all just chaos pantomime.
I looked up there to have it written on my board, and my board fell off the
What,
wall
the word
yesterday. Chaos? Eh?
The word chaos.
No. I mean, that's always.
It's your favourite word. It's a weasel word at the minute, isn't it?
It's one of my favourite. No, I had my boxing plan written up on that board, but the board fell off the wall.
I need to start putting up things with screws for you rather than these command strips.
Well, because I change my mind so much, I keep moving shit around. But yeah, absolutely, yeah, those boards can go up there.
Yeah, we'll put them on properly.
Curtain looks all right, doesn't it?
Looks wicked. Looks wicked.
Just finishes off War Room nicely.
To do with it.
Nothing to do with it. I managed it all myself.
Yeah, I'm proud of it.
Didn't electrocute myself. Nothing
kill
caught
anyone.
fire.
No, and it's straight.
Pretty much.
Ish.
Ish.
Yeah, ish.
The
will do.
room's crooked. That's straight. It's everything else that's not.
Mate, that's the same as our house. Our house is the
stick to a bit of
wonkiest
Lego.
house in the world, but my wife is still insistent that when we're putting pictures, it's literally the closest thing to divorce we can ever do. Is try and hang a picture, because your face is like there to the wall, and you're going, what? It's like left, and you're trying to get your hand behind the back to put the string on.
My left.
Yeah, play the
It's
game.
It's the same left.
Yeah.
We're facing the same.
We're both facing the same way. A monkey's right. I don't understand these. But yeah, what were you saying? So McGregor on Ultimate Fighter, Nick Diaz. I think anything that brings that pantomime drama to that show, because there's been a load of seasons of tough, and the ones that stand out are always the ones with maniacs and the fun or the insanity. Like Bisping, when Bisping was against Mayhem Miller, Mayhem didn't really have any place to be in the UFC at that time.
No.
But Bisping
was a
almost
wild card,
lifted
though,
him
wasn't
to
he?
it and carried him through that.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
What was the best Ultimate Fighter?
I love
Sonnen versus Vanderlei.
Brazil.
That was a good one.
The scuffle was good, but the
Yeah.
rest of it was, there's not a lot to it now. It was all right. But, I mean, the closest one for me, the one that I love was 9, because it was the UK, so it was all the lads. So I like that one. And it was quite an interesting series.
Yeah.
Same as when Roy was in season 10, because there was a load of NFL like Brendan Schaub
Yeah.
and Big Baby. And
Was that when Kimbo came in as well?
Kimbo was in, yeah. So he was like the special, because Roy Nelson stood at the back and he's like, and a special guest. And Roy was like, I thought that was a fucking special guest. But I don't know, because it went, season 1, it always went odds and evens at first, didn't it? So season 1, Randy and Chuck, phenomenal, with challenges and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Nate Quarry on crutches, the whole thing. Season 2 was Matt Hughes, Rich Franklin, which was then dire.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, because they
Joe
were
Daddy
never
Stevenson.
going to fight, were they?
They didn't fight.
No.
So it was Rich Franklin, Matt Hughes didn't fight.
And
then
that was Mac Danzig's one, wasn't it? Because
Season
he was on
2.
he was on Matt Hughes' team.
no, that was 6. Matt Hughes came back again against Matt Serra.
Oh, that's right. That's the one.
Sorry.
No, fucking hell. I don't even remember it.
Season 3 was Shamrock against Tito, which is Bisping season.
Mate, they were good fights. Like I remember,
Yeah.
like the adrenaline rush that I got when Shamrock and Tito were fighting is similar to what I would get if like McGregor and Diaz were rematching or
Yeah.
something like that.
That old, for me, it was Randy and Chuck.
Which side were you? Were you Tito or Ken's side?
Ken.
But you knew Tito was going to win, didn't you?
Yeah, without a doubt.
It was just like fuck you, and he did catch him at one point,
Mate,
didn't
with a
he?
knee. There was so many times.
Yeah, I might rewatch
even watching
those.
them. Yeah, because the problem was the confidence that it gave Tito was unfortunate, because then he was stepping in against Randy or Chuck, which never really ended very well for him. Do you know
He had
what I mean?
some good fights though. Tito
did, yeah.
I never liked him, but that was kind of his character, wasn't it?
But I like that character, the gravedigger.
Yeah.
Like when he used to jump on the cage and
Paul
big
Daly
heart.
loved him.
Yeah, he was the
Paul
man.
Daly fucking loved him.
He was the man.
Like even like him and Matt Howell used to bleach their hair before amateur competitions.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
I could see it with the beanie with the flames on it. Punishment.
Absolutely. And the 2 flags over the shoulder.
Yeah. There's something about Tito. I'd like to meet him as like his guard completely down, but I think he's too far into the character now.
Yeah.
Because he had that fight with, who was that wrestling guy he fought, and he got overturned, but there was no explanation as to why. But it was like a weird, I don't know, it was even when he fought Chuck again and celebrated after.
His
last
most
fight.
recent one?
Yeah.
Alberto El Patron.
Yeah. And he won. The guy was giving him a load of shit before that.
Is that right?
But he won, but then it was
Rear
overturned.
naked choke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that early career though, like when he was fighting, so like he made his debut at UFC 13.
Matt Yushchenko's debut.
Yeah,
was
that was a bit later. So he fought Wes Albritton, stopped him in 30 seconds, and then he lost to Guy Mezger.
Yes.
By guillotine. But then he came back at UFC 18. Joey Bolander, Guy Mezger. So that's where the rivalry starts.
Yeah.
Because they were both Lions then, weren't they?
Exactly.
So Bolander, and he stopped them both in the first round, 14-30, 14-31 of the first round.
Yeah.
But then lost to Ken Shamrock. That was a fucking great elbow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was in on a single leg and got caught with an elbow. Vanderlei Silva, Yuki Kondo. Mate, he's got some good fights. Slammed against Evan Tanner.
And yeah, knocked himself out, didn't he?
Knocked him out. Knocked Evan
Oh,
Tanner
sorry.
out.
It was like a belly to belly, wasn't it?
Picked him up and boom.
Because wasn't that for the title? Was that for a title?
Yeah, he defended his belt, yeah.
Yeah, because then Evan dropped down when they introduced weights after that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But he was always a middleweight, Evan Tanner wasn't
But he was the poster boy. Like, the fact that the whole that looks like
Well, he was
Tito.
also managed by Dana, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, he managed
as well as Chuck Liddell.
Yeah.
What a fucking Don King thing to do, that.
It's a wicked... There's a documentary somewhere that sort of breaks it all down. But it's kind of an ugly documentary that you need like 3 different versions of it to get the true story, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Fuck, he beat Ken Shamrock 3 times.
Yeah.
UFC 40. What was that?
Vendetta.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. UFC
That shouldn't
40.
be in there, should it?
No, I've got it on the shelf in there on DVD.
Is it 44? Yeah.
That's the start of it with the Zuffa logo and the lightning. That's it. Dude strapping on his fucking gladiator
I always thought it was Robbie
armor.
Lawler.
Did you?
The guy putting the armour on. Who was that? Can you come out on Twitter and tell us who you are? Derek from Brighton. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got your shield.
Yeah.
But he looked a bit like Robbie.
Yeah, he was
but
in
didn't
the
have Robbie's
Coliseum
tattoos.
once,
Yeah.
strapping on like shin pads and stuff.
Yeah. Because you do that in the Coliseum.
Da, da, da.
You're gonna get hit. You're
Yeah.
gonna get knocked
Who was that?
out.
Who was that? Scarface? No.
Something like that.
Fucking Scars of Life, Scars for Life. Diecast did
You're
one
gonna
of those
feel
songs
it.
as well.
This is the ultimate.
Oh,
Boom.
yeah.
Love
Welcome
it.
to the Ultimate Fighting Championships.
And then Seg at the end or whatever it used to call it.
SEG, yeah, for sure. Yeah, UFC 40, then UFC 61.
And it was close to that one, wasn't it? The last 2 were closer than the first 2 then.
No, they stopped him in the first round and the last 2. So the first one was a decision.
No, I mean the numbers. So if it was 44,
yeah.
62, and then it was what?
They were back to back. That was 61. It went 59 against Forrest Griffin.
Yeah.
61, and then the next one was called Ortiz Shamrock, the final chapter, because he'd only beaten him twice before.
Yeah. But Ken
we
was
needed that
chomping.
third one. Of course he was.
But that was like one of the biggest grossing pay-per-views at one point.
Yeah.
Tito and Shamrock.
See, the thing is though, like Ken Shamrock brought in that pro wrestling crowd, and
Yeah.
obviously it wasn't the Brock Lesnar pro wrestling crowd, but there was a decent crowd that
There was
came
a
over
massive
with
crossover.
Ken Shamrock.
Well, you'd heard of him. And he labelled himself the world's most dangerous man. And his legacy from being in like UFC 1.
Is he only 57?
Ken.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Pray
He's
for
the same.
Ken.
He's the same age as my
Pray-
dad, born in
pray for
64.
Ken.
That's crazy. 57. I thought he was older than that.
Mate, him and Frank. Well, because they're not legit brothers, are they?
No, they're both adopted.
Yeah. And they were in foster care and all sorts. It was tough growing up for the pair of them.
It was the Ultimate Fighter growing up.
Oh, legit the ultimate fighter, yeah. Yeah.
Tough. That's what. Yeah, that's what you meant, wasn't it?
But I think one of my favourite moments with Tito and Ken is where they're at the press conference and Tito is giving him some mouth, being the younger upstart, a bit like Conor does to these other guys.
When he
And
kicked the chair.
and he just
Caught
catches
it,
it. He's
yeah.
like, sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
He's completely nullified. I will murder you. Or something like that. And he like kicks the chair and he just catches it. It's,
What a fucking record, though. I mean, what is it in the end? 28, 17, and 2.
yeah. Can you remember when he beat Bader after he had like a 9-fight skid and he beat Bader in a guillotine?
He did, yeah.
He's the most emotional I've ever seen. I was so pleased for him that day because he'd literally, he just became a storyline from Chuck and Randy's success. Do you know what I mean? Because Dana didn't really want anything to do with him. He sort of tried to push him out a little bit. Can you remember?
Are you talking about Ken Shamrock?
Tito.
Oh, Tito. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Tito
Yeah.
beat Bader.
Remember he nearly triangled Leo Tomachida
Yes.
as well?
Yeah, but other than that, he did nothing.
No. No.
Other than that.
No, I was talking about
Ken
Shamrock's record. Some
Oh,
of the
yeah.
names on that.
Mate.
I didn't know he fought Matt Hume.
Yeah, early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bas Rutten, Patrick Smith,
Chemo Leopold, he stopped with a knee in the first.
Chemo Leopoldo coming
Wow.
out carrying a crucifix, a
Yeah.
big, massive fucking wooden crucifix.
Green lycra. And he just caught a knee.
Madness.
It was gold.
Masakatsu Funaki. It's a good name in it, though.
Ken Shamrock didn't give a fuck who you are.
Didn't give a fuck.
But he fought someone in the UK. It was
That was
either
Pancrase, that was-
Cage Rage or Cage Steel or... I don't think it's Cage
yeah.
Warriors.
Hang on a minute.
British
let me see if I
lad.
can
And he
find it.
finished him in the first.
Cage Rage. He fought Buzzberry.
And he beat him so quick.
No, he lost to Buzzberry.
That's what I mean.
Oh yeah. Stop
Shamrock got stopped quick.
Nah, that seems like a pro wrestling.
I don't think it looked like he'd ever seen fish and chips. And if he'd been here for 2 weeks, he'd indulged
fish and chips.
in
I
fish
walked
and
past
chips.
the chip shop yesterday. It's open again in the village.
Really?
I walked past it. I was like, it's been a while.
Well, I got myself a full sack of taters. I'm not the kind of guy that buys small bags of taters. And because they're out of season now, you'll know this being educated people. Like you're between old potatoes and new potatoes.
Right. So you got a shed full, have you?
Yeah, I have now. I found a supplier. It's like finding a dealer. I was like, "Can you sort me out a sack?" She went,
Spud dealer.
They'll go green. My phoners will go green. I said, no, don't worry. I've got the right environment for your sack of taters.
Oh, here we go.
And then she
Such a flirt.
She took to haggle for like 20 minutes. I went, "How much for a sack?" She went, "Call it $8.50." I was like, "Fucking hell." There.
Right.
Take 9.
My goodness.
Yeah. Carry it back to the car. We had chips that night. Ham, egg, and chips. Get in my face.
I am getting kind of hungry.
Fucking
it's
beautiful.
5:30 and I've not had breakfast yet.
No, me neither.
So it's
me
almost
neither.
about time.
I've got something I've got to tell you.
Go on then.
It's a story that made me laugh that I'd completely forgotten about. And basically, it was one of my mates when we used to play PlayStation as a big group. And I was talking to David at the weekend, and he's like, "Do you remember when I nearly said his name."
That would have been bad.
I nearly said his
Would
name.
have had to edit that out.
Yeah. So he said,
So this is going to be a good story then. If you can't
exactly.
Say
He
his
says, "Do you remember that guy who told us the stripper story?" And we were like, I said, no. And he reminded me of it. And this is it. Basically, he got married to his beautiful wife, and she was being the ever doting, loving wife when they went to Vegas. And she wanted to take him to a strip club to show him how cool she is and how like accepting and humble and cool and safe and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those kind of marriages.
Yeah. So it's all good. Don't worry.
Never is.
Exactly. So off they go, and he goes to this strip club, and she's like, "Not only have I bought you here, I want to pay for a dance for you." And he was like,
"Oh shit!
Oh wow, you are everything and more."
Because then when we're married tomorrow, I can give you shit for it.
Yeah, this is basically ammo, motherfucker.
That's it.
You're going down.
You're loading my gun for me.
Yeah, literally, you're putting it in your mouth. So off he goes. So he fell for the trick, but that wasn't even the problem. Off he goes for this dance. Came back, and she sat there waiting for him, big smile. She went, "How was it?" And he started to explain, "Oh yeah, it was really nice," and blah blah blah. And one thing I didn't realise is I've never seen someone part their pubes in a centre parting. Right? That was his statement to her. To which she got up fuming and said, "You mean she got naked?" I don't know what the fuck she was expecting, but she was mad about the fact that she'd taken her pants off. Kecks, knickers, whatever you want. Yeah. What the fuck?
Fucking hell.
How good's that?
It was going to be a trap from the start, though, wasn't it?
It was Admiral Akbar, mate, all day.
There's no way it wasn't going to be a trap.
No, what the fuck?
Don't trust it.
Terrifying. Terrifying. Yeah, I don't think... There's other stuff on here. The one last thing I will leave you with, which is a very stoned thought. Do you think that regular dogs see police dogs and think, "Oh, shit"?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they've got that energy about them, aren't they, police dogs? Like, they know.
A bit aggy, aren't
We're
they?
trained.
Even the spaniel sniffer dogs.
We're trained.
I think they are set to be a bit more like, "Hey, you can talk to me. I'm a spaniel. I'm not an Alsatian.
Yeah.
Come over here. Listen.
Good cop.
Just tell me where it is."
If you had good cop, bad cop, you'd have a spaniel and
All day.
one of the German shepherds, wouldn't
But
you?
I reckon, I've obviously got 3 dogs. And
none of them are police dogs.
Could you imagine?
I
There
think
would be a fuckload of crime if my... Go and sniff that, Ben.
I think they make a good 3-piece of like a burglar team.
Oh, without a doubt.
Right?
Yeah. Just send Ben
Get
in
them
through
some
the
stripy
letterbox.
shirts.
Yeah. Little swag bags and drop dead Fred jumpers. But yeah, I think that could be a thing.
That's a whole animated series.
Dude,
there.
honestly, I was sat on the swing to myself the other night, and I was literally, it must have been 3 a.m. I'd finished work, and I was like, "Oh my God, what if dogs see police dogs?" And it's like they're scared of the police. I could best tell Dan.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
I've fulfilled the prophecy. That's all I needed to do. And it made Slim laugh, so it's worth
There
it.
we go. All right. Right. Well, I think it's time for breakfast.
Yeah, nice one, dude.
Nice one, mate.
Pleasure.
Good catching up.
Yeah, take it easy.
Catch you later, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.